Welcome to Trading Lounge and the Bitcoin report for Thursday, August the 5th. I'm starting with ETH Bitcoin pair here, and what we've been talking about is ETH being stronger than Bitcoin because we can see that it's impulsing to the upside here. Now, there's a couple of things we want to talk about here with this and how that relates to Ethereum. So we can see that we've got 5 waves down here. So we know we've got an A wave here, we've got a nice B wave here, and a C wave here for this. So we can also count 5 waves up here, and then we can count this as an A and a B and a C for correction. If you've got a keen eye, and we'll look at this on the intraday in a moment, but there's also 5 waves moving in up through here. So we could look at this as an A, B, C, and that's finished here. And as we talked about yesterday, we can just continue to make new highs up here with 5 waves up here, then an A, B, C correction, and then further to the upside. And we'll look, you could go long there. We'll try to call that in for you. Or this A, B, C pattern here could just be the A wave, and this that would come to here, and then this would become to the B wave here for this, and this would be the A wave, the B wave, and the C wave to the 61.8% retracement level, and then move lower from that. So there's 2 ways we can look at that, this market. We know that this move here is corrective, so that means we know that we'll be making new highs above here, so that's a good thing for hodlers. How it plays, because it's a corrective pattern, how it plays out in the short term is a little bit iffy. So it could do both things. We could have the 5 waves up here, then a correction, and then further to the upside. Or as I mentioned, we can have this as an A wave here, an ABC here. So look, as a wave 1 up here, that's okay. But the wave 2 here, you see how it spent so much more time than wave 1? It's normally not like that. It's normally that wave 2 would have less time spent on it, around it, whatever. Yeah, so the wave 2 looks a little bit big here, but sometimes you've got to be a little bit philosophical. So it's possible that it's 1 and 2, but I think that we'll just wait for the evidence, and the evidence will be in here after this. So if I go from, this is a daily chart, beg your pardon, to 2-hour chart should do it. Let's just bring this back in here. So yeah, what you can see coming up here is 5 waves. Let's just get this opened up a little bit here as 1 and 2, and let's just call all this the 3rd wave and the 4th wave and the 5th wave here that may or may not be finished. I'd have to pull this apart to have a bit of a look at it to see what's what here, but let's just say that we're close to a top. There could be a little bit more to go in here, like a little correction and one more little push here or something, you know, but we're close. We're 2/3 through it. We've got the 3rd wave in here. We could, boy, maybe at the top of the 3rd here, so there could be just another, this could be the 4th wave playing out and a 5th wave to go up here. So, but be careful, you know, that's all I'm saying. You don't want to be going long just here, because what we're looking for is an A wave back, a B wave, and a C wave coming down here. Let's just check on that for a moment. You'll have to adjust this. Let's just say that it makes a new high. Okay. Let's say it's at 70 there, somewhere in there. It doesn't really matter. You make the adjustments, and that would make the 61.8% down here somewhere. That's not what we want, Pete. We want this one. So it can pull back into this point here. So if we're going to look at this as either going to be wave B up here, isn't it? Or we're going to be looking at this as wave 1 up here. So if I can I just copy this, clone this? Definitely in the new age, cloning things. So we need to make that blue. We need to come back here. We need to just put that there. That's cool. Anyway, you get the idea. So we'll either look at that as 1 and back for 2 here, but that would leave the long trade in that case. Let's just get rid of this. that would leave the long trade. To make the long trade valid, it would be above here. We could do it because if it's going to be bearish, right, then it's going to come down through here somewhere and then push back and retest that level there, which is the 65, which is a medium level, and then push down from that point, right? So I don't know what it's going to do, but this is where it will decide what's going on here. Okay. The other point that I wanted to make is that when we talked about Ethereum yesterday, let's just bring the Ethereum chart up. We thought there was a possibility for another high for Ethereum while Bitcoin was doing its rally. So yesterday we talked about we could have a top in here at at Minuet 5 here, right? And then come down because we counted 5 waves up, and that would be in line with Bitcoin. But at the same time, we knew that looking at ETH Bitcoin cross, that we could make a new high. So we have made a new high. So we'll have to call this in as wave 5 of A here, this top here, and that would also be in line with ETH Bitcoin. Now there could be another little move here. I haven't really checked that out there as such. Let's do that now though. 1 and 2 and 3, ABC for 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 here. So we can shove that there. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, ABC here. So we can look at that as 1 and 2 here. I'll leave you to sort the rest of that out. That can be your job. So we may have a top in here, or there could be another one, but we're very close right here. So we're in group 2 here for that. So yeah, now we've either got that top in there. Let's just pull this back in here to maybe the hourly chart. Just want to talk about a few things. The other thing that sort of caught me the other day, that sort of popped in my mind, and I did talk about it yesterday as well, is that with Bitcoin, I counted up as 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 5 here to Bitcoin, and we got the top in here, and we got our pullback for our A wave, and it's all good. But we know ETH was a little bit stronger, so we understood that it could make a new high here. But the other thing that I also talked about is that this trend to the upside, if it's going to be bullish, because I want to talk about, Bitcoin and it's coming back for its B wave here. It's in that place. We'll look at all that in a moment in detail. But and we could expect, this top here to come back and an ABC here. So this ABC here would also be in line with ETH Bitcoin cross as well, coming back for wave 2. Right, so that presents a more bullish case for ETH Bit cross. But also what I wanted to talk about here with ETH here is that instead of having green wave 1 and 2 here and 3 here and 4 here and then 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 5 here, is that we look at this as wave 1 in blue here and back for blue wave 2 and then up for 1 here and back for 2 here, and then this would come. This would be also wave 3 up here, and instead of having a big pullback here, we could get a pullback just to the wave 4 of 1 lesser degree and then go up even further. So I'm just explaining because I'm pointing this out, and then this would become wave 3 up there, this blue wave here. If I grab that and put this up here and do this 1, 2, 3, and that would be 5 of 3 up there. Forget the B wave up there if you can see that, but yeah, this one here. So basically what I'm saying here is that, well, this thing could just keep climbing, and get away on us. Do you know what I mean? So I want to be mindful of that possibility. So when this pulls back here, we'll be studying this pretty closely at this point, and ETH and Bitcoin cross as well. We'll tie them all in together. So it looks like, this is what occurred at the top when Bitcoin was at the top of the market at 65,000 roughly, and Ethereum just kept on going for another month, for 4 weeks. I feel like that could be possibly happening here, and we need to be mindful of it, and so on and so on and so on about this, yeah, so I think that's all I really wanted to say about this. There was one other thing that I wanted to talk about, not so much on this chart, but yeah, so I don't know, we've got a few long positions in there. You do what you need to do with those. But the other thing I want to talk about is having a look at I'm going to go I suppose we could just stay here. I want to have a look at total. So I should just bring that down a bit from this point. Sorry about that. Yeah, so this is total here. So this is the total market, and this is in, 1.5 trillion or whatever, such. So what I wanted to talk about here, I was looking at this yesterday, and I just want some feedback on this, if people can help us out with this, because I was thinking that looking at the total here, I was looking at this as wave 1 here and 2 here. Just going to open it up a little bit more. We can just have a bit of a look at it. So pretty clear that we've got 1 and ABC for 2 here. Then we could look at this as 1 and 2 and 3 here, ABC here for 4, and then down for 5 here, which would make wave 3, and then 4 here. Then we've got 1 and 2 and nice 5 waves in the third wave here, and then 4th and 5 here. So we can count 5 waves. If somebody's got a different count for this, please let us know. Give us some feedback, and I think this is a little project we could all work together on, because if we've got 5 waves down here for this, right, that would leave us with wave A here. And then if we looked across here, we could look at this. It's a little bit dodgy, my triangle business here, but an A and a B and a C and a D and an E wave here for wave B, and then down for wave C here. So I'm thinking that that we could just have the A, the B, and the C here, because triangles happen in B waves and wave 4. So, I mean, you could put that as wave 4, but I thought about putting it as wave 4, but then I come back over here and I count this. So can somebody else have a bit of a look at this here? I know that I'm supposed to do all the work, and and you're paying for it and all the rest of it, but I think it's healthy for all of us to come in on this one. This could be a little project that we could all look at and and pull apart. So if you see anything wrong with this, then let's communicate it, and I'll communicate it back as well. And yeah, I won't take all the glory for the right count or the wrong count and all the rest of it. It will be a shared thing. But so this comes down here. So really, as an ABC, that could actually be a low here, because then this counts up here as 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and then a correction quite deep, like a wave 2, and then 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and then a correction, and 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So we could have 1, 2, 3. So that could be basically 1 and 2 up here, couldn't it? 1 and 2 to this point. It hasn't made a new low here. Bit of a large wave 2, but still. And then pushing up, don't worry about all this little mess here, but yeah, so there is a case that for this market, I mean, we could still call all of this an A, B, C down here as wave A, and we're going up for an A and a B and a C for the B wave here, and then we come down for the C again, and it could get uglier. But there's also the possibility that that could be the end of it here, of the correction coming down. That's the possibility of that. Anyway, I just thought that was interesting. So yeah, anyway, we're going to move on to Bitcoin. That's Ethereum, so we don't need that there. So with Bitcoin, if we were thinking of Bitcoin having a low in place, then it would be over here. So this wave 3 here with an A wave and a B wave, and 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 here for the C wave here of wave 4, and then looking at this as 1 and ABC for 2 here, then up for 1 and back for 2 here, and then up for 3 here. But like I've always said, in both cases, being a corrective move up here, the 50,000, the trading level 5, major level, as a classic trading levels pattern, will sort out, because we're going to get either a pattern like that, or a pattern like this across there. It'd be something like that, or a variation on one of these two here. But one way or another, if we do get support up on the 50, if that's the 50 across here, well, then we'll be long from that point. And we do need to be careful about this. We need to be, it's not, I've seen people get fixed on being one way or the other without enough evidence, and it only gets you into trouble. So if this market's going to be bullish, then this 50 is going to find support, and then it's going to go up from that point, and we'll go through the 65. The 72 is going to be important, but the 80. So really it's the 50 and the 80, and in between that, of course, is the 65, but we've already been hit by that. So we'll be hit by it again. Of course, it's the medium level, but it means that we'll be making a new high. This I was listening to a person in the credit default swap market, and he valued Bitcoin at 130 based on the credit default swaps. I thought that was a fantastic way to value this. So I think, to me, that's where the value is at this point in time, realistically. But that's another story, and I'm not an expert in the CDS market. So but anyway, but this is the bullish count if we were looking to be bullish, but I don't know if this is correct or not correct. We'll only know if 50 becomes the support or the resistance with a classic trading levels pattern sitting on it. But I know that this market is having this number here. 5 is the second strongest number in the market after 1, and this is a correction all about this number. It's all about that. Yes, it has dropped down and found support on the next level lower, which is the 30. So really, it's the trading levels is just using the Fibonacci sequence as a price ratio. So major levels would be 10,000, 20,000, 1, 2, 3, 5, and 8. And then we go back to 1 again, the power of 10. So it would go 100,000, 200,000, 300,000, 500,000. So just the power of 10 on that. And medium levels are just halfway between major levels. And you can see that they're handy little things to understand. It's just an exaggeration of support and resistance, but it brings in the geometry of it. We all know, the Fibonacci works in one way or another, in different ways, in lots of different ways, and I just use it as price as well. So that's helped me a lot. This is the bullish count, but it cannot be confirmed unless we have support on trading level 5. That's the long story short. And the other count that that are working is this one here, which we've had since day dot. And that's looking from the top as a bit more practical, this count, I'd say, as 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 5 here for the A wave, and then the A, B, and C for the A wave. And now we're looking for an A, B, C here, and we'll focusing on that in a minute. And then the C wave up to the 50, which is the target area at that particular point. And it will spend time there. There is supply there, and so we'll see. So the classic trading levels pattern at that point, and then down for wave C. If it falls short to the 50% here, then it will come down deeper. If it comes up to the 60%, then it can come down just sort of shallow of that. If it comes up to the 78.6, which would be higher up here, then the C wave will be less at that point. So there's a few things to understand as that occurs. But as far as everything is going, it's all going according to plan. So let's just focus in on this little area through here, and we'll go into the intraday to do that. So from that wave A low here, we're looking at this as the ABC for the A wave, the A, the B, and the C here for the B wave. And then this little move up here, which we counted 5 waves up and nailed that top in there nicely. And then we were looking for the A wave to come down to roughly to the 38, which is the next level. So between 30 and 40, They're major level and medium level, and then these are minor levels in between here. And the same thing goes as well. We can have 1, 2, and 3 as 31,000, 32,000, 33,000. So 1, 2, and 3, and then 5, and then 8. So the Fibonacci numbers 1, 2, 3, 5, and 8. And 8 is the third strongest number, so it carries a fair bit of weight, and we can see that it's doing its job there. And we're looking for the this down as the A wave, and then the B wave and the C wave coming down here further for that. So that's where we are with this. Of course, we're going to look at this more closely, because this B wave here, that should be in 3 waves. So if I can just remove that there for a moment, and we'll need to look at that. It looks impulsive, so we'll look at that as an A and a B and a C wave there. We'll look at that. Now that we've got that low in place, we can look at this high, roughly speaking, and this 50-60% just as the starting thing. It can go higher to the 78.6 and so on and so on. But yeah, that's where we're looking now for this. So that will be that. This length here can be the same length as that, which is roughly, so we can put that a bit short, probably sit it on top of the 50% probably there, so down at 36,000. But also too, when we talk about 38 here, we can also talk about group 2. So it's a bit weird, and I won't go into it, but there's 5 and then 8 and then 36,500 and 3720 is group 2. So we'll just pop those in there because they'll play their part on that journey downwards. Yeah, so we may just come to group 2, so the lower end, that's what I was trying to say. So we may just come to 36,500, like this low over here for that. So it's a possibility, so we can just put that. That will cover both of them, both options there. Anyway, but all we need to do here, that will be quite simple. All we need to do is count 5 waves down here like we've done over here. So we'll go in and have a look at that now. So perhaps the hourly chart. I'll have to go to the tick chart. So, but anyway, just while we're here, we'll just do a little bit of housework here for this. So we know that from there to there roughly, that's our little thing there. That looks rather impulsive there, so we, oops, daisy, what it can do is just drop that down. You can adjust that later because we've got to figure out if that's 5 waves there yet. So that will bring us down to, can pull back. I'm just using this upside down at 38.2, so that will be okay. That's a 61.8% on that side. So we should be looking for something like this here, and then another 5 waves up, and then we'll be looking for 5 waves down here, something like that. So that's our mud map, but don't take that as gospel. And this will be an A wave, a B wave, and a C wave here. I mean, this does really appear to be impulsive. It doesn't appear to be bullish correct. It doesn't seem to be in 3 waves. It seems to be in 5 waves. So if we get 5 waves in the opposite direction of the current trend that's going up, then this 5 waves will deliver a 3-wave correction and then another 5 waves to the downside. And that will make our B wave down here. And then we can be moving up to 50 at this point. So obviously, this is the trade that we want. Wave B there, wave C there. We don't need a few of these other things. And once again, too, we can go 1, 2, and 3, 5, and let's just put in our 8 there. So that's all you really need to know with the price ratio here is just 1, 2, 3, 5, and 8. That's the starting point. And then you can use those as major levels. Medium levels are different. You can use them as minor levels, sub levels, and micro levels. So drilling right down. The same with the structures as fractals, isn't it? You know, it's fractal Elliott stuff. Yeah, so that's basically the pattern there. Okay, let's go into the tick chart and make a mess. Okay, so we've had a couple of long trades here, which you may or may not want to leave in. We talked about taking profit and all those sorts of things. But there's a nice structure up here. We got the turn nicely. We got our first 5 waves here. We went long here. We added to our position at the 35, which was nice. We know that we don't want to add at 8 or the 40 because we know that we'll get some sort of classic trading levels pattern up here. We got the reaction here. We've got 2 of them really, but with our first high above the level, and now we're going into our ABC pattern. So this is the pattern that we're looking at here. We have the arrival, the reaction, the first high above the level, and now we're over here. So we're in the A wave. We've done the A wave. We're in the B. We're halfway through the B wave now, because this will be an A, B, C in here, and then we'll have the C wave down. And this is where we can do buying. And then we can, all over this side. So if we draw a line down here, then that's that side of the fence, and then this side of the fence, and then we divide this top and this bottom up into 2 sections or 4 or 5 sections. We use the trading levels for that, and it's our purchase area in this space and over here. And in this level over here, we will have the 40,000 again over here. This little pattern in here, just this simple pattern here, this will be this whole big pattern here. You can tie that big pattern into this little one here, so you'll have the arrival, the reaction, the first high above the level, the ABC pattern, and so on. Yeah, you know the story. So let's just have a look at this now. It will be a little bit messy, but let's just bring this in here. We don't need these, we can use these over here now. It's probably 1 and 2 and 3 here, and 5. We're very close to the top there. There can be another one. We'll just have a look, and then there'll be this one over here. And I just really want to reset that there as well. A bit wild. Okay, so anyway, we're close there for that. I mean, when you're using large numbers, it can skew the wave count a little bit, so be a little bit philosophical about that. But counting down, we counted 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 for 1 and 2, and then the third wave down, the A, B, C here, then 1 and 2. And I got this little mixed up down here, but I didn't really spend much time on it. So I did get it. I didn't get it perfect. I got it wrong, but in the mainstream of things, I got it right, because we were looking for a low around the 38 to the 72 within group 2, and then a push up. So we're on track here. I don't think we can count this as an A, B, and the C correction. Do you know what I mean? Because if we could count that in 3 waves here, then we would be making a new high here. I don't see that just yet, but I can see that this appears to be 5 waves here. So that means that if we get 5 waves in the opposite direction of the trend, that's the trend here, and we get 5 waves in the opposite, then we'll have an ABC, and then we'll move up again from that point. So let's just have a closer look at this. Let's just get this in here roughly first. Let's just use the 40 for the time being. No biggie. And that's sort of where we are here. So that will bring us to 38,500. So that can be there, somewhere like that, something like this. Don't need that. And then we're looking for 5 waves up here. We better extend that, and then across. And that will be that one, and that one, and then down from that point. So that's sort of where we are there. That nails things down a little bit further. But we want to have a look at this now. I thought I was on the hourly chart, but on the tick chart here already. So that's a little bit tricky to see. So I'm just going to go I'm going to go from 100 ticks into 20 ticks. 10 probably would have been better for this, but we'll just see what we can see here first. Not too bad. So let's just nail that down there as the third wave. We'll make adjustments in a moment. We can work different ways. Let's just work with this here. So 1 2 1 2 come back and work the other way. So what we need is a little bit more ammo. Obviously you don't need to stick around for this, but well, I think is that 5 waves coming down here? That's 1 2 3 ABC for 4, or maybe didn't really make a new low here, but sometimes you don't have to. I mean, that looks like, let's just check it out a bit further. Okay, I mean, you're looking at a big screen here, but when I do it on my computer, I've got, this is not a full screen size, it's only half screen size, so it makes it really small. I'm working in a small space, where I normally have it in a larger space. So we can go 5 4 3 2 1, so there's 5 waves there. This is a nice strong third. That's the strongest part of the trend, so that's got to be the third of the third of the third, so to speak. And then we could look at this as 1 and 2 1 2 3 4 5 for third, fourth and fifth. So 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 5. So that 1 and 2 is right as far as that's concerned. So I need to look at this, but I'm not going to look at that. I'm just going to accept that that is correct at that point. That would be 1 and 2. I've got to figure that out, but that looks good. I think that's it. But it's just not really giving me the... So that would make wave A up here. So let's just pop that in there. And then we're looking for wave B. Oh, that's not right. And wave C back up there. And we'll need some smaller ABCs here. I mean, if we were day trading, this is what we'd be doing, but we'd be doing it on 10 ticks and using all the micro levels and drilling right in. But you could do that. It just depends on the spreads that that are being offered. We've got 1 2 3 4 5, 1 2 3, nice fourth wave, fifth wave. So that really's got to go there, I think. It doesn't look like the top. These are the things we've got to sort out along the way. Is there something I'm missing? Oh yeah, no, that's the top, I see it. Not because it's the top, but that's all of the third, that's 1 and 2 and 3 and 4, 5. So that's all the third wave. So that's 1 and 2 here and 3 here and 4 here and 5 here just for the third wave, the fourth wave and the fifth wave. Fifth wave being much the same as the length as the first wave because the extension's in the third wave. So it's a funny thing, isn't it? It's amazing, really. So lucky to have Elliott wave. Good on you, Ralph. Ralph was an accountant with the railways people, and he studied and noticed this.
My dental.
So this B wave here, if that, I don't know, not quite sure if that's correct. We need also need, no, it's too small. Too small. All of that. Yeah, we're going to pull down further yet. I thought we might have it in there, but I was just dreaming again. It doesn't really matter at this point anyway. It should be somewhere over here. I mean, calling a top in is also a little bit risky as well. There could be a little bit more to this, and that's not the B wave there. That's got to be over here somewhere. And that's not the A wave done yet either. And that's going to be way over here. So first of all, we've got to kind of understand if that's the actual top in play there, which I don't have a very clear 5 waves down. I do really. Yeah, I do. It's 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 5. And this is an A and a B and a C. So we should be all right. That should just be, that could be down for 1 here and back for 2. And then down for 1 and 2. Anyway, it doesn't really matter too much. We're not ready yet, but just shooting the breeze there. So going back to, let's just go back to the hourly chart for a moment. So that's where we are. Let's see how we go. If this plays out nicely, that's good. I also need to point out too, if I'm totally wrong for something and this wave, 5 waves down here is some sort of expanded flat with an A wave and a B wave and a C wave here, then I'd be obviously wrong if this top got taken out here. And then the other thing to realize too, if I'm absolutely a total tosser, is that the 43 here is really important. So if this just moves up here, let's just say, for example, if this becomes the support with a classic trading levels pattern here, not too many things on my chart. If we get a classic trading levels pattern sitting here on the 43, on the top of group 1 of 40, then the market is finished with 40 and it'll be going up to 45, and it goes to 45, then it'll be going up to 50 at that point. So that 43 is really critical. So if I've made any mistakes in here and you see that 43 as support, then you know that we're not coming back here. We're going up at that point. Okay, so that 43, that top of group 1, that's what we use the number 3 for. Okay, so anyway, that's that. I mean, we could do, because that's an impulse wave, 1 and 2 and 3 and 4. We could do that, you know. So yeah, that 43 as support will be sending us to 50 at that point, because then I'm totally wrong about this pullback here, and it may have already happened in some way or another. It may have happened in that I've got this wrong, and that would go over to here. Oh God. Yeah, if I've made a mistake, it would be that would go there, that would go there, that would go there, that would go there, but it doesn't make a very good B wave, I must say. And then this wave C and B would be over here for that. But we would only know that if 43 became the support. So if you see a tested support there, you'll know what's going on at that point. And that'll be in more in line with Ethereum at that point. Alrighty, I'll leave it at that. Sorry to waffle on so much, but I was enjoying myself, so too bad. Alrighty, thanks for tuning in. Cheers.